Nvidia recently released its 50 series GPUs, and today I'm diving into the performance difference between Linux, specifically CachyOS, and Windows 11 in gaming. For this comparison, I'm using the Nvidia RTX 5080 paired with the AMD 9800 X3D, benchmarking games at 1440p and 4K, with ray tracing on and off. Stick till the end as there were some unexpected results. For Windows 11, everything was set to stock, with no tweaks. I made sure the GPU and AMD chipset drivers were up to date at the time of the recording. When it comes to CachyOS, I used the latest Nvidia proprietary drivers alongside the default CachyOS kernel. I installed the gaming meta package alongside the tools and stores and configured Steam and Heroic Launcher according to the official documentation. In some games, I had to resort to Proton hotfix as the recommended translation layer by the CachyOS team was not working properly. For the side-by-side comparison without ray tracing, I will show only the 1440p settings and runs. The 4K runs were done with the same settings, but in order to shorten the video, as YouTube Analytics showed me that a lot of you guys skip the side-by-side section, I decided to not show the 4K runs and include only the results in charts. Let me know in the comment section below if I should include the 4K runs in future videos, or even cut some 1440p runs and show only the most important ones. Another thing that I want to mention is that in CachyOS, G-overlay is reporting the same value for the 1% and 0.1% low values, which I'm not completely sure if it's correct. The polling rate was set to 255 milliseconds, as it is in Windows for MSI Afterburner.
Ah, here they are now.
One result was surprising to me. At 1440p, CachyOS came incredibly close to matching Windows 11 in average frame rates in Monster Hunter World, losing by just under 2 frames per second, which I'd still call a tie. However, it did fall short in the 1% low values. With that said, all was not rosy in Monster Hunter Wilds while gaming in CachyOS. I recorded this playthrough with my phone and I'm not sure if this is a game bug or is just a Linux issue, although I had a wall appearing from nowhere in Windows as well, so who knows. Either way, it's a shame this game is such a buggy mess right now. In all other games, Windows had a clear lead, with major wins in titles like Age of Mythology Retold, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Marvel Rivals, Silent Hill 2, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, and Final Fantasy 16. When looking at the overall performance difference, Windows had a 29% lead in averages and a huge 55% advantage when it comes to the 1% low values. I didn't test Marvel Rivals or Counter-Strike 2 at 4K as I don't expect most people to play those games at this resolution. However, when we look at the 4K results, the performance gap shrinks. Windows still had significant wins in Age of Mythology Retold, Silent Hill 2, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, Black Myth Wukong, and Final Fantasy 16. But CachyOS managed to win in Monster Hunter World, though its 1% low values still lag behind Windows. At 4K, the performance difference narrowed, but Windows still led by nearly 18% in average frame rates across all games tested. Now, when it comes to ray tracing, I'll again show only the 1440p side-by-side comparison, but keep in mind that I set up upscaling to quality at 4K as native ray tracing was too taxing for this GPU. Path tracing was used in games where it was available. Also, Monster Hunter World didn't have ray tracing available in Linux. The biggest surprise with ray tracing was in Indiana Jones. Usually, Linux lags behind Windows when ray tracing is involved, regardless of the GPU, be it AMD, Nvidia or Intel. But in this case, CachyOS actually outperformed Windows with almost identical 1% low values. Since Indiana Jones uses Vulkan, this may explain why both operating systems were almost evenly matched. For Spider-Man 2, Windows had a performance advantage of less than 10%, but in other titles, Windows pulled ahead by a large margin. Keep in mind that path tracing without upscaling was used in Alan Wake 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Black Myth Wukong. Overall, with ray tracing enabled at 1440p, Windows outperformed CachyOS by nearly 21%. Not much has changed at 4K with ray tracing and upscaling set to quality. CachyOS still leads in Indiana Jones, while in the other games Windows is the leader. At 4K, the overall performance gap between CachyOS and Windows was about 19%. As we saw in the previous sections, Nvidia's Linux drivers still lag Windows ones when it comes to gaming. However, the gap is smaller, at least when it comes to ray tracing. Nvidia needs to push harder to close the gap as AMD open source drivers trade blows with Windows ones. With that said, the GPU was perfectly usable in day-to-day tasks, so no issue to report in this regard. Because Linux still has a small share of the operating system market, I think that Nvidia is slow in improving their Linux drivers, but this is just my guess. CachyOS performed admirably in Monster Hunter World and Indiana Jones, showing some performance parity, but overall it fell short in consistency across the other games tested. Proton CachyOS wasn't perfect either. I had to resort to Proton hotfix for Indiana Jones as it was a bit stuttery, while in Marvel Rivals I got better results when switching to Proton hotfix. And that's it for this video. If you found the video helpful, drop a comment below to help with the algorithm, hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Take care and hope to see you all in the next one.